Okay, welcome to the Sultans of Swing tutorial, and let's get right into the intro here. We're going to start, the song is in D minor, so we're going to start with a D minor chord strumming that opens the song. It's kind of like a rake strum, and in the very beginning you'll hear he puts this, if you remember your D minor bar chord, the 5th fret, the basic bar chord, across the 5th fret, and then your 3rd finger at the 7th fret on the 4th string, your pinky at the 7th fret on the 3rd, and then your 2nd finger at the 6th fret on the 2nd string. What we're going to do here on this chord, though, is we're going to extend this bar across to the 6th string so we get that low A, because that A is in the base of the chord. It basically makes this a second inversion D minor. Okay, we're going to be strumming that to come in kind of... Now he uses a fingerstyle technique, which is kind of a random technique, which is kind of raking his first finger up across the strings. And then, and we're going to be continuing finger picking throughout the entire song, including the solos. So, he starts with a quick strum pattern.
Guitar Giveaway Channel, YouTube.
Okay, so that's just... I like to do the rake upwards, just with my first finger across the strings. After just doing that a couple times, then we start the first lead fills. And the first part goes like this. Alright, so what we have there is double stops on the 2 middle strings of the 5th fret, the 3rd and 4th string with your first finger. And I just picked that with my thumb and first finger, or a thumb and middle finger, whichever ones you want to use in the right hand. And then we just go up to the double stops with your 3rd and 4th finger on the same strings at the 7th fret, though. Alright, then we move on. We slide from 5 to 7 on the 4th string, and then over to the 7 on the 3rd string. Come back down to the 7 on the 4th, and then go back to the 3rd string and play 10 and 7. So it goes. See, I went kind of a roll technique. Then we have a quick little rake. And the best way to get this and get some articulation going is with your thumb on the, we have, first of all, on the left hand, it's at the 7th fret on the 3rd string, 6th fret on the 2nd, and then 5th fret on the 1st string. And I'm going to take, in this hand, I'm going to do a thumb, index, and middle finger. And I'm going to put them all 3 on the strings, on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings, respectively. And then just do that, kind of one after the other, just like kind of a roll. Now, we want to separate those notes, so you have to time it in the notes in the left hand. As soon as you pick something in the right hand, let go of it. So it creates a staccato sound. Okay, it's a little difficult to get the timing down, but just practice it a little bit, and it'll start falling into place. So we go from, after we get to this top note, you pick 8 on the 1st, back down to 5, over to 6 on the 2nd string. So we got, then we, in the intro like this. Okay, and that's just 5 to 6 to 5, hammer on and pull off on the 2nd string, and over to the 7th fret on the 3rd string, and then it just kind of wanders off, kind of just does going into the verse. So it's just you can kind of just do a 5, 7, 5 pull off, and it's kind of very low in the mix, so it's kind of hard to hear. And then we get to the actual verse. Verse 1. Now, all the verses in this song, the most difficult thing about this song is nothing's very difficult to play, really. It's more that after every line in the verse, and all the verses, he's continually doing some kind of licks, some little improvisational licks. So for us to get them all down exactly like he plays it, it's kind of tedious. So I would say learn each verse by itself, and then go back and play it along with the performance, and just get it down to where it's like second nature. You can hear it. You got the sound of them memorized, and you got the licks memorized, and then add the next verse, because the licks will start kind of running into each other if you don't. It kind of feels like, man, there's 100 licks to learn here, and there really is. But we'll take it bit by bit. So the chord progression going during the verse is a D minor to a C major bar chord. You can play it like this, or I like to do it with a bar with my pinky. So it's basic C major bar chord, the 3rd fret, 3 on the 5th string, then bar across the 5th fret at the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. Then the same chord, 2 frets lower, and then a simple A major chord. which you can just do it with a open string, which is 0 on the 5th, 2, 2, 2 on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. So I'll figure it out like this. Alright, now he's not doing a lot of the chords, he's doing a lot of lead licks, so I'm going to be doing the chords whenever we can between the lead licks, and that's kind of how the way I perform it, so but we're going to be concentrating mostly on just his lead parts. So here we go, the opening lines, verses. So that is basically just after you go all the way down to the A, you bend a whole step at the 4th fret on the 3rd string, whole step, do a couple of bend and release of it, and then slide it back to the 7th fret still on the 3rd string. And that, while you're there, then you'll continue picking up the riff on the C. And then we have this next thing. So and up there, what that basically is slide to 11th fret on the 4th string, and then 10th fret on the 2nd string. So you're skipping a string in there. Thumb takes a low note, and probably middle finger will take the 2nd string. Then pick them again, and then pick 11 with your 3rd finger, place the 11th fret on the 2nd string, and then back to 10. So we got this. So all together, we got. Then we take it to F. Now this F chord is just basically 7th fret on the 4th, 5th fret on the 3rd string, and then 6th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, strum that a little bit, kind of the same strumming pattern as before. Then we have this figure. Probably familiar to you. 5th fret bar across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. As soon as you pick that with these, the thumb, index, and middle finger, you mute it by releasing pressure. And then we have back to that F chord, F in a first inversion that is. You pick that twice and then pull it back, those 2 notes back off to the 5. So we get this. And then move that back 2 frets. That bar across the 2nd, and 3rd, and 4th strings. All right. And then after that, we go from this simple little. Okay, and then we take it to this little. And that is the same thing that we did at the beginning. In the intro, slide from 5 to 7, roll over, back to the 4, then 10, 7 on the 3rd string. Then we have this figure. And that is the bar across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string at the 3rd fret. And then we're going to put our pinky at the 6th fret on the 2nd string and pick just the 2nd and 3rd string at the 3rd string still has that 3 down there. And mute it. So you got 3 and 6, and so we have this. And then you come back and pick the bar of 3s across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings and slide them up to the 5th fret. So we have this. Then we have a little lick to end the first half of the first verse. And that is just a slide from 5 to 7. Then pick 5 and 7 on the 4th string, just with your thumb. And then you can do your first finger here in both hands at the 5th fret on the 3rd string. All right, then we go back into this verse riff. And we have this. So that's kind of similar to that lick we did before, but just a little bit extended. We have this. So that's the same that we did before when we did this. Then you're going to take it down 2 frets and pick the 4th string, then the 2nd. Let them ring together, and then come down 2 more frets. All right? So we have this. And then we go back. We catch the verse going again on that C. Then we have this little lick. All right? So we basically have this. That is a pull-off from 10 to 9 with your 2nd and 1st finger. We're on the 1st string here. Come over and grab 10 on the 2nd string, and then 9 on the 3rd. Slide down when you pick 9, you're going to slide it down to 7, then that down to 6. So we have. Then we're going to go 7 to 5, pull off on the 4th string, and then 7 to 5, pull off on the 5th string, and slide that 5 down to 4. So we have. And that takes us right to the F. All right, so when we get to that F now, we're continuing that little phrase and that same little staccato riff. All right, and then we catch this little fill after that, coming to that part the second time. And that is at the 10th fret at the 3rd and 1st strings. Just pick it with your thumb and the middle finger. And then 9 and 8 on the same 3rd and 1st strings. And then grab the 10s on the 2nd and 3rd string. So look at this. Those are very staccato and hit pretty hard too. All right. And then we have back to this same figure that we did before with the 3s and then with the 3s right there, we slide up to the 5. And then again. And then build that up, going into the chorus. So let me play through some of this stuff. I'm going to play from the second half of the verse. The second half of the verse. All right, and that takes us to the first chorus. Stay tuned for that.
You've been watching another Guitar Giveaway Channel tutorial. Yeah, support the guitar community on YouTube. Peace.